There we are. Okay, we're live. Hi, everybody. If you can hear me, let me know. Let's see, we've got live chat going on. Hopefully everything is here. Welcome, everybody. Give me a heart or a hello or something in the chat if you can hear me. Hopefully. See if I can hear us. We'll wait just a few minutes until it's time. Can you hear us?
What?
Can you hear us?
Oh, I haven't.
I'm just, I haven't gotten any. I was looking on my phone here to see. Mercy waved.
What?
Okay. Hi from. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hope you can hear me. I always get nervous about that. I never know if it's going through, but my little assistant is here with me today. Oh, good. Everybody can hear. Great. We'll just wait until 11 o'clock and then we'll get going. Mercy's going to do she's going to help me out a little bit here so that we've got all of our ducks in a row. Right, Mercy? Yeah. Mercy's my quilting helper. She always attends our guild meetings, and when she can, she attends our lives, right? When she was very little, she would stand in front of the computer and she would look at the videos and watch me when we were live. And every once in a while, I'd see her and I'd say hi. So the more Mercy grows, she's already asked me if she can make a quilt, and we talked about maybe making a pillow. Right? We'll do that first because she's not quite. She's 4. So we have to be a little bit older before we can use the sewing machine all by ourselves. But at 4, you can still make some cool stuff. And that's what we're going to do, aren't we? Anyway, hi, everybody. I've got my computer set a little far away, so it's a little hard for me to read your comments. I'm going to try and watch it on my phone so that I can see, but I'm not trying to ignore you or anything. Yes, Kathy, we have Mercy here. Good morning, loud and clear. That's great. Barbara, happy 4th. Yes, happy 4th. For those of you in the U.S., happy 4th of July or happy Independence Day. For those of you who are not in the U.S., this is a holiday week for us, which is a slow week when it comes to business, but a very busy week when it comes to celebration and family. So that's what we're doing this week is we are celebrating and we are enjoying family time together. But we still have Joyful and Merry Quilting that's happening because quilting is a very important part of our lives. So that's what we're doing, right? We've been quilting all week, haven't we? And Mercy's actually going to show us a couple of the things that I've been working on. She's going to help me so that I have an extra hand here, which I wish you lived closer to me, Mercy, because then you could help me all the time. But this is good that you're helping me today, and I'm really grateful. She's actually modeling one of our projects that we'll show you in just a minute. We have 2, and Mercy has 1. So anyway, we're almost ready to get started. 1 more minute. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. We have Alex here in person, so if you have any questions for him, he's going to give us there he is. Alex is Mercy's dad, right, Mercy? That's your D, yeah. So anyway, okay, pretty close. I've got a lot to talk to you about today. I didn't think I was going to have a lot being a holiday weekend and bringing everything here. We are actually not at home. We are on vacation. And so I have, as you can see behind me, so gorgeous. It's so beautiful. And it was raining yesterday, so I'm really excited today that we can be outside and it's warm, isn't it? Yesterday it got down to 41 degrees. It was chilly out, but we never know here. We never know what we're going to experience. And it was actually a really fun day in spite of the weather. We had a big old fishing competition. And Mercy, how many fish did you catch?
2.
She caught 2 fish, big ones. Nice fish, right? Yeah. So anyway, then everybody competed, and I can't remember how many fish we had, but what was the winner? How many fish did we have to win? 14? Yeah, so lots. I mean, our winner, Gracie was our winner. So yeah. Granddaughter Gracie was the winner, and she caught 14, which was amazing. So anyway, the smaller ones, of course, got thrown back, but we have a few that we'll keep.
Cindy Van Hoy loves the YouTube short, and it touched her heart.
Oh, Cindy, thank you. For those of you, I was going to actually bring that up. So thank you. There's a YouTube short. We didn't do an actual tips video this week like we usually do when it comes to quilting tips. We did a short video and just with our family. And the tip is sometimes, you know what, you just need to take a break. And we work really hard, it seems like all the time. Everybody's having fun and we're sitting here. Alex is editing and I'm doing some sewing. And we just thought, you know what, for this particular thing, because it does take quite a bit to do a tip. We just wanted to share with you what we're doing. And this is what we're doing, right, Mercy? The lake is behind me, way out, you can see, and we're sitting up on the hill. So it's just really gorgeous, really beautiful. So welcome to the Joyful and Merry Quilting Hangout for our daytime lives. We always have a daytime live on the first and third Wednesday of the month at 11 a.m. Central Time. And then we have our Night Owl Quilting Hangout on the second and the fourth Monday at 10 p.m. Central Time. That works for some, not for everyone, but it's taped. So you can always, I mean, you can watch the replay on our live section of our YouTube channel. So there's buttons going all the way across, videos, shorts, and there's a button for live. You click on that and you can see all the lives there. Now the lives are not edited, so you have to understand anything can happen in a live, that's for sure. But for the most part, we have, I demonstrate different tools, or maybe I'll show you how to do a block or a quilting technique or something like that. And then we just chat. It usually takes about an hour, sometimes less, hopefully not longer, especially when it's that late at night. But it's a fun time. And I love the lives because I love chatting with all of you. So first of all, my merry moment is I'm introducing Mercy to you. Mercy is my youngest granddaughter. Mercy is, how old are you, Mercy? She is 4. Mercy is 4. So she is actually twins with Milo, right? Yeah, Milo is Mercy's brother. They're twins. And Mercy is here with her family as well as my other kids' families. And we are missing Jonathan's family, my third born. He actually, he's working, so they weren't able to make it up, but everyone else was here and it was really fun. But we'll meet with them at the end of the month and we'll be back and probably have one of our lives here again at the end of the month. So I look forward to seeing you again there. In our video, if you haven't watched it in that short video, it's less than a minute, we are on our outdoor oasis, picnic and beach, outdoor oasis, picnic and beach quilt. It's underneath me on the dock down there when the kids and I are all sitting on it. That's what those beach blankets are for. They are to sit on and to enjoy and to love. And you enjoyed sitting on the beach quilt, didn't you? That was really fun. It's always nice to sit on a quilt. They work well on the sand too. So anyway, that's kind of how we did the video with everybody. It wasn't all the grandkids, it was just the littler ones. And we had a really good time, plus the 2 dogs. So if you haven't watched it, go watch that video and share it. We just want everybody to know what a joyful and merry time we're having while we're here at the lake, and we hope you are as well. Our announcements, I've got a few really good announcements I want to share with you. This is kind of, this is a quilting, a slow period of time when it comes to our quilting, because we're all so busy with outdoors and gardening and all the things that we do that we don't always take time for quilting, which is kind of something that we do in the cooler weather maybe, or when we're binding a quilt. But there's still things that we can do when it comes to quilting, so we don't lose touch. We don't want to lose touch with our quilting. So we have our quilt guild, our Joyful and Merry Community Quilt Guild. And that is something that I love the Quilt Guild. It's a smaller group and we do Zooms rather than the live. So there's face-to-face interaction. We want to make sure that our guild doesn't get overwhelming when it comes to our numbers, which is why we cut off the membership when we did. We admitted a certain number of people. And it's not for everyone, because not everyone needs an additional guild. But I'm telling you, we have a lot of joyful and merry quilters who love the camaraderie and companionship way more than we even anticipated. And we decided that it would be really fun to have a virtual guild where everyone can get together, learn things, listen to speakers. You can do so much virtually that you can't always do at an in-person guild. Plus, for those who can't get out, or people who don't have time to get out, or maybe you have other commitments, this is a really great option. So we have had the guild open since April. That's when we started everything. We're getting things going. We've been testing the waters on a lot of things. Some things work, some things don't. And our founding members have been amazing in helping us to get that going. So we are now at a point where we've discovered approximately how many people attend our in-person meetings, because as I said, we don't want it to be overwhelming. We want everybody to have a chance. I want to be able to answer all the emails personally that come through, and we've been able to handle that pretty well. So that means that we are ready to have more people join the guild if interested. We only have a limited number of spaces available, and then we will cut it off again. So if you are interested, or you're just curious about what the guild has to offer, and I'm going to be announcing this quite a while. We'll actually admit people, open the membership at the beginning of September. I think it's on, Alex, I can't remember, on the 3rd. Is that what we said? Anyway. I think it's yeah, September 3rd. So that's when we will actually open it. But we're gonna just tell everybody about it over the next 2 months, just to make sure that we reach everybody. And some people listen at one time and some listen at another time. So
the 3rd, sorry.
The 3rd. Yep, I got it. Thanks. So I just want to make sure I get the dates mixed up, and then Alex has to go and correct all my mistakes. So I want to check with him always first before I say anything. Okay, so the waiting list, if you want to be on that, what happens if you get on the waiting list for the guild is you go to joyfulandmerryquilting.com/guild waiting list, all one word, guild waiting list. What it's going to do is it will put you on the list, and it will actually allow you to register for the Zoom chat that we're going to have about the guild, and that's going to be at the end of August. That's where anybody who's interested can come and just find out what we're all about and see if you really wanted to join. It's a year membership, so you want to make sure that you're committed, that you want to be a part of it. But I'm telling you, it's just so much fun, and I can't tell you how much I have enjoyed interacting with the guild members inside and outside of the guild. We also have a chat forum that's just for guild members, where you can share what you want. It's very private. We can have private Zoom meetings where we just share things periodically, which I do. When I have an open 4th Thursday, it's usually Thursdays. When I have an open 4th Thursday of the month, we just have a sew along, and we just sit and chat and sew. So there's a lot of fun options there, especially when the colder weather comes. It's just, I just can't tell you how much I enjoy doing that. So that's what it is. If you go to joyfulandmerryquilting.com/guild waiting list, and Alex has the link in the chat. You can just get your name on the list, and then I'll talk about it again. But it's a good idea then to register for the Zoom chat so that you don't forget, because you can't just join in. You have to register for it, and then we will have that time where you can talk about it and just chat about what's going to happen and what's going on with the guild. Some of the things that we have, I'm just going to tell you, I'll tell you a couple of things. I don't want to take all the time here, but one of the things that I really love is we have a block library, and each guild meeting, I introduce a new block that I'll show you. And then there's an accompanying video on how to put that block together. And that's going to go in our block library. So no matter join the guild, you will have access to all those blocks. You can do whatever you want with them, creating a quilt with video instruction on how to put them together. It's just, a lot of times you can find the blocks here and there, but to have everything in one place with the video instructions, I think is really important. The other thing that you get as a guild member is a minimum of 3 free patterns with all the details that come with my patterns. So there will be 3 throughout the year, maybe 4, depends on, if I have an extra one to share with you, but 3 for sure. That they also, we have them in our store, but you will get all those for free. There's a lot of benefits to participating and becoming a member of the guild. And I just, again, I just would love to have you join me. So enough of that. Guild meetings, again, are also recorded. So if you can't make it to a meeting, they're there for a couple of months, so you can still watch the meetings and get everything out. Right now, now this is guild membership aside. Right now, I am working on 2 really fun quilt blocks that I'm going to show you in a quilt that coming up in the next few lives that we're going to be doing. Now, Mercy's going to show us the first one. Do you want to show Mercy? Okay, can you hold that up? She's going to hold this up. Isn't that the cutest thing? Okay, now you're looking at this and you're saying this is a bow tie quilt. Thank you, sweetheart. And it is, but, oh, let's show it again, Mercy. Can you poke your finger in that spot right there inside here and show? Look at that. It's a 3D bow tie quilt. And what we call this pattern is tied up in circles. Get it? Tied up in circles, the way we put it together. But I'm going to show you a super simple way to put this together. Okay, now I put the block together, I think one block, less than 10 minutes for sure. And I think I got it down to 7. I mean, I could go really fast, but it's really fun. It's really easy, but it makes for a great pattern. So what we'll do is I'll do a demo on the patterns. You can buy the pattern if you want that's got all the details, and we'll have that available to you just prior to the live, because some people like to have the instructions written in front of you and have it there. Otherwise, I'll show you how to put it together in the live, and love to have you join me with that. So that's one. The one that I'm going to do in 2 weeks at our live, our daytime live, is actually, this one is layer cake friendly. It takes 36 10-inch squares. The other one is jelly roll friendly, and it takes an entire jelly roll. And again, just a really great pattern. So I'm excited to share those with you. But if you're looking for a jelly roll or looking for a layer cake that you want to set aside for either one of these, and we'll be working on the blocks in our live, do that. So it'll be, these are our 2 July projects. Well, actually this one, I'm hoping this one will be July. This one will probably be August, since we'll just do one. The other one that we're working on, the jelly roll friendly, I'll do that one in July. So this one will be August. Okay, that's our current projects.
Cynthia's wondering if the guild does any round robins.
Oh, okay. Cynthia wanted to know if the guild does round robins. I'll tell you at this point, we have not done anything that is that we open up sharing where you privately either share addresses or email addresses or phone numbers or any of that kind of stuff, only for security reasons at this point. Because we are a virtual guild, we just want to make sure that we don't have people giving out their addresses and phone numbers and all that and having issues with that based on us. Now, we have said that as you get to know people in the guild, people tend to gravitate towards those who are like-minded when it comes to projects and skills. And at that point, you are welcome to do things off the site. Now, we may change that depending on what the guild decides. At this point, we do a lot of, like I say, the block library. We have that going on. We have the patterns and the sew-alongs when it comes to the patterns. We have not done block exchanges or sometimes people like to do charm exchanges or that sort of thing where people's addresses are given out. At this point, we are not doing that. So that's an in-person kind of guild. It's a little easier because you can come to the guild meeting and you can do that. You can do those exchanges, or you can do the round robin where somebody starts here and then somebody else does the next one and the next one. But we're talking about, we have members all over the world, and that can get expensive, first of all. And customs is huge. So then you have to go through that if you're mailing to somebody outside the country. And we don't want anybody to feel excluded. And that's something, the Joyful and Merry Quilt Guild, we're just really community quilt guild. We are a community. We want to make sure that everybody is included in that community. And we just don't want to do anything where somebody just can't participate for whatever reason. So anyway, that's where we are right now, Cynthia. But you know, it may change depending on what the guild members decide down the road that they want to do. But at the beginning, we haven't done any of those sorts of things. I hope that it answers your question. Anything else? Just post in the chat and then Alex will let me know. He's coming in and out and letting me know what's going on with that. Let's see. But I hope if any of the guild members are online and you enjoy guild, please let everybody know so that they know what a good time we have. We actually have a meeting tonight. Usually they're on Thursdays. We moved it to Wednesday because of the holiday. So we're going to have a meeting tonight. And we've got the Greenland Quilter is our speaker for tonight. She actually is a quilter with a YouTube channel in Greenland. And we're going to learn a little bit about what goes on there and how quilting, how she is able to quilt, even being in a place where quilting is not really very popular at this point, and they're pretty secluded when it comes to what they have. So I know that the members are going to enjoy that interview. I'm going to talk now about, first of all, one of the free patterns that we have in the guild, but we're going to put this up and it's coming out today. And Mercy, can you show us how that works? Mercy is going to show us, she's going to demo this. It's a backpack pattern. And it's actually jelly roll friendly with those leftover jelly rolls. Can you just hold it up, Mercy, and just show everybody what it is? See, it's pretty good size. Mercy is 4, and you can see she could fit a lot of her stuff in here, right, Mercy? Can you open it up and just show everybody how you open it up, just pulling that apart? See, and all of her stuff can go in there. It's easy to do. It's pretty simple, but it's quilted on the bottom. We have jelly roll strips here. It's got a boxed bottom on it, which is a little, I think that's always fun to do the boxed bottom. So this is actually another one. I did it the same way, but I always have to do the pattern 3 times. I do one where I just make the pattern out of my mind. And then I write the instructions and I make it again. And that's the one Mercy was holding up. And then once the instructions are written, then I make it again to make sure that it's good. So anyway, this is the free pattern that is available to our guild members today. And again, if you're interested in that, it will be available on our website as well.
Diane Holcomb just tipped us $20.
Thank you, Diane. Oh my gosh, Diane just gave us a tip and we are so grateful. Thank you so much. I don't want to go on and on about this, but I've mentioned before, I don't think, there was a YouTuber that made a tea towel and it was a really cute tea towel. And I sent her a note and I said, would it be okay if I demoed the tea towel? And I'm going to be doing that on the Night Owl Quilting coming up in the fall. And she was so kind. And she said, people don't realize what it takes to do this. Everybody thinks that, all you do is just get on camera and do this. The equipment, the cost of everything that we do here in order to be able to bring this to you is phenomenal. I had no idea. I've learned a lot. Alex especially has taught me a lot about what it takes to do this. But I've said this before and I'll say it again. This is like my dream come true to be able to do this. I mean, he's making this possible. You all are making this possible for me to share quilting with you. So that's our intent. But when we get a donation, we're really grateful because it does keep us going and it helps us to be able to give you even more of what we have, and I've talked about it before. I'm not going to get into it a lot, but I just thank you. Thank you so much, Diane. We really appreciate it. Okay, so now Mercy and I are going to show you something, and I'm going to turn the camera down when it's time. But when I came up to the lake, actually, I have something that I want to talk about here, and it's these Martelli templates. But when I got here and I was working on, can you hold that up for me again, Mercy? Just like that. Thank you. I hate to hide your pretty little face, but when I was working on this pattern, I wanted to make sure that it laid flat, that it was flat. Okay, thank you, sweetheart. And how do I do that? I use my pressing marker, and if you haven't watched the video, watch it because it's life changing. But anyway, guess what I forgot to bring? I thought I had one up here. I did not. I must have 30 of those at home. I did not bring one single pressing marker with me. I thought, oh my gosh, how am I going to put this together? I have become so dependent on the pressing marker because it works so well to make my blocks flat. So I went over to Hobby Lobby. I knew they didn't have it because I looked online, but I thought there's got to be an alternative. And several people had commented to my video ways that they were able to get what they thought was the same result as I got with the pressing marker with tools that they had at home. So I went back and I thought, I'm going to check these out because I got to find something that's going to work here. So the first thing I did, somebody said they used a makeup brush. So can you hold that up for us, Mercy? That's the makeup brush that I used. Now I'm going to hold it way up to, can you hold it way up to the camera there? Let's do it. I'll put it. Okay, look at it. You can see I use this for maybe 5 or 6 blocks. And that's what happened to it. It got all icky and all frayed. I bought it in this little package right here, $2.29. They call them color applicators, but in my eyeshadow, it's just a makeup brush, same thing. So but it's made of kind of like a foamy feel. You know what I'm talking about with the makeup brushes. It did not last when I was painting my seams. What I would do is I would dip the solution, this in the solution, and then I would paint on the seams. And you can see the more I painted, the more torn up this little makeup brush got. So it worked. I suppose in a quilt, I would probably go through this entire pack just because, and like I said, it worked. The issue that I had was it kept falling into the bowl that I had. So it was getting sticky all over my, not sticky, but pressing solution all over the handle. So I had bought, Mercy, can you hold those up? I bought this package at Hobby Lobby, and it came with two of these little bowls. And so you can see it also has a little spoon. Can you take the spoon out of there, Mercy, and show them the spoon? Do you see the spoon sitting in there right here? This little, yeah, just pull that out. So it came with a spoon that you could kind of dip in and put this in. It's a cute little spoon, isn't it? You like that spoon? You can have that. And so I used that, and it didn't tip over. I tried using a little medicine bottle. I tried using one of those little Pyrex bowls, and everything just didn't work for one reason or another. But this worked pretty well. I can actually put the solution in here. So what I would do is I would squirt my solution in here, and it just takes a couple of squirts and you filled up this bowl. And then I would put my, as you can see, my little makeup brush stayed in there and it didn't fall apart. It didn't slide around. Again, you need to use a lot. It's great for an emergency. But I was able to do that with my pressing solution, and just by squirting it in, I didn't have to dump it in and risk spilling it. So that part was okay. Worked for a while, but then I thought I bought other things. I'm going to try other things. So the next thing that I tried, somebody had suggested one of these refillable paint brushes, which looks like this. And what you do is you put paint, you unscrew it, and then you put paint in here, or pressing solution is what we do, and then give it a little squeeze, and then you're able to paint on the seams. So we would take this, and what I had the solution in here, and then I would paint on the seams. Okay, what did I find out from this? First of all, it worked okay. It worked okay. I think it put too much solution on the seam where the marker was more controlled. This one I had to keep squeezing it, and every time I squeezed it, I would get too much coming out of there. So that I didn't care for, but again, it worked. It used a lot of solution, so I know that I was putting too much on there. You can have that one. And then the last time I used it, and I didn't use it a lot, it started to leak, and I couldn't figure out what was happening. And if you take a look at this, for some reason, it just, every time I screwed it on, because it's really cheap, I mean, it eventually lost the threads and it didn't work anymore. So I used too much of it, because paint, you wouldn't use this much. I had to keep opening it too many times, and eventually the threads got destroyed. So this was not, it was okay for a while, but I felt like it was not something that would last. Temporary, okay, but forever, no. Then I found these little things, and these are called fine mist bottles. Okay, again from Hobby Lobby. And what they are, it's a teeny tiny little spray bottle that you fill up and you push down and you spray. Okay, but here's the issue. You have to push each time. It's a very small spray, so I had to keep squirting, and it squirted out farther than what I needed, way farther than what the pressing marker would use. It gave me a nice amount of solution, just too wide. I mean, and if I went up too high, then it spread way out. Went down too low, I had too much on the seam. So again, great in a pinch. It worked well. It has those same threads on there, so I think after a while, I wasn't ready to refill yet. It probably would wear down. But again, if you don't have access to the markers and you need something in a pinch, that one works. Then somebody else suggested just a regular old paintbrush. So I went over to, and Mercy's been asking me about these. I went and got these paintbrushes. They're $2.79 for a whole bunch of them, because I didn't care if anything had a really good brush on it. I wanted it stiffer if possible. And this has got a pretty stiff brush. Can you feel that, Mercy? It's pretty stiff, isn't it? And you can hold those if you want. There's a lot of different ones. Anyway, I picked out the one that looked about the size of the seam that I was doing so that I could just go along and brush this direction. It was wide enough, not this way, but this way. So it was wide enough, but I had to keep dipping and dipping and dipping. So I dipped a lot. There was a lot. The other issue that I had then was it kept rolling off of this. So I needed to put it somewhere in a cup where it would hold up. Too much thinking. You know, the marker, I just took it out and did it. So there was a lot of thinking. But again, in a pinch, it worked. So it was pretty good, right, Mercy? Yeah, it worked okay. So those are my tips if you're having trouble locating your marking pen or a marking pen. You can do that. But like I say, I really did like these little bowls here. They really did make a difference and they helped. The other thing is when I'm using any of these products, you know, when you're paying $2.79 for it, you know what you're getting. So you have to buy them, the markers included. You have to buy them with the understanding that it's not going to be the only one you're going to buy. Once they wear out, you do need to replace them. The nice part about the markers is the place where we fill them, the tube, is rather large, so you don't use as much as these, so you don't need to refill them often, and you can buy the little nibs for the top and replace them without replacing the whole marker, and you get a whole bunch for hardly nothing. So anyway, that's my follow-up tip that happened when I was trying to make do with what I had here, because I was not going to go without my pressing marker. I just have gotten so used to that, and I just don't like the way my seams look without it. So anyway. Oh, thank you, Deb. Oh, Deb, just I thank you guys so much. Happy 4th of July. I thank you, Deb, very much. Deb just tipped us as well. So thank you. We really appreciate it. Okay, so let's get into what we've got here, and we're going to you can play with those. And we are going to talk about these. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with the Martelli company, but I use all their products. I became acquainted with them at our Project Linus retreat a few years ago. Bought their table, just got a new table. I'll show you that eventually when I get home. But they have all kinds of templates, and they really do stress accuracy when you're using their templates. One of the things that they do, they have a special rotary cutter that I'll demonstrate those when I do a rotary cutter, but I have to get better at it because I'm not super good at it yet. I don't want to. It's a good cutter. I don't want to show you when I'm not using it properly. So I'm going to just use my regular cutter. But what happens with these, and you can see that in the picture here, is they have a non-skid surface on one side of the template, and then on the other side, I don't know if you can see, it's marked, like this one says 3.5 inches. So you can't see through this, but you know that if you do, I've got 3.5, 4.5, 5.5. I've got 2.5, and then what they also have are these frames that go with it. So let's say that I want to actually fussy cut something. I can take this and put it so that the image is in here, and then I replace this, take this off, and then I can cut it. You can't get any more perfect than that. So that's and all of their templates have those things. And these that I have, the ones that I'm using right here, go up to 9.5 inches. So these are nice and big, depending on what you want. What I want to show you is, and I'm going to show you on some fabric, and I'll tip my camera down. So here's the view. I've just got some squares that I cut out that I used for my other project that I'd left over. So what I want to show you is, let's say we're going to cut, I want to show one that's big enough you can see. So let's do a 3.5 inch. Now, this is it. When I put a ruler down on here, you know, a ruler can slip around a little bit. Plus, we have to be careful that we make sure we line up everything on the edge. But when you use one of these, and again, it says 3.5, when I put this non-skid side down, look at that. It does not go anywhere. So let's say that I want to cut. And again, Martelli rulers is different. Or I mean, Martelli cutters are different, but I'm just going to show you with the one I always use. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place my cutter just like I normally would. And I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go here. Now, I have a rotating mat that I love. This is not. But if I was using my rotating mat, all I have to do is this. This is not going anywhere. This is staying right there so that I can go to the other side and I can trim that off. And look at there, I have that most perfect 3.5 incher. You can do several layers at one time. It just kind of depends on your need. But I love the way that when I'm doing solid squares and I need a bunch, I can use this template and I don't have to worry about my ruler slipping. That's what I like about it. Now there are, like I say, there's several sizes, so I can use all these depending on what I need. And even this little teeny one, the 2.5 inch, works also if I'm just doing one. Now, a lot of the times we use our stripology rulers. We just cut. We can cut many at a time. And here we cut one at a time. But again, you know, you can put several layers down. So up to eight layers usually cuts well. And that gives you a nice number. Now, if you've already got your strips cut, Martelli has a long strip ruler, a 2.5 inch strip ruler that you just have to lay down. And again, no movement. Then you can take those strips and you can cut your 2.5 as well. It's just another option for accuracy. We all have our favorites. And it's just so important, I think, that we're open to different ideas. You know, if you have something that tried and true works for you, great. But I was pretty excited when I saw these templates. Now, I want to show you another set that they have that I actually played with. So that one is, this one is the no square, they're called square no slip templates. The set that I had has the 6.5, 7.5, 8.5, and 9.5. And then the other one has these smaller ones. I just put them all in one bag. But you can look on their website, martellinotions.com, and they have all that there. But anyway, this is a different one. This one is called a half square triangle. So I looked at this, and I was a little more skeptical on this one because when I do my half square triangles, I like using the block lock ruler. I like using the oh shoot, what's it called? The Clearly Perfect slotted ruler. And so I don't have any problem with those. So the way that these work is they have all the different sizes. And again, it's that non-slip. And that's one of the things that I struggle with when it comes to the other rulers that I have, that they do, even with the grippy, they do still have that possibility of slipping when I keep spinning things on a mat. All of a sudden the ruler's off. So this does not move, whether it's on the mat or whether it's on the fabric. It does not move. So you've got this, and it's pretty sturdy there. My camera's moving because I'm moving the table, but this is not moving. So when I am using this, what you will want to do to create, I created this using the 2.5 inch. Actually, there's two of them here because you make two at one time. So if you're making two at one time, what you do on these is you do cut out just like you would normally. And then you take your pencil, which I thought I had sitting right here. Oh, no, here it is. Okay. So what you do is you take your pencil, whatever is a very thin lead, and then you'll have two squares right sides together. I'm just going to do these because they're sitting here and they're easier. So when I cut these out, first of all, I'm going to take and I'm going to cut and cut. Once again, rotating mat. I'm going to turn it around, or you can do just what I did and use your little mat and do the same thing. Cut and cut. Now you want to make sure that your cutter is lined up straight. You don't want to go sideways or this way. You want it straight so it's flush with the template, and that way you've got this cut accurately. Now the next thing you're going to do is take your pencil and you're going to draw on this side and on this side right next to this opening. So you want to make sure, again, that your pencil is not dragging on the side of this, making that mark out too far. The mark needs to be right where it needs to go. So that's where you're going to tip your pen or pencil or whatever just inside, so that you are actually marking right along that mark. And there we have it. These are our sewing lines. So you put a pin in here, and then you're going to sew on those 2 lines. Once they are sewn, you'll take your ruler. I'm just going to pretend this is my ruler. Place it on here, and then you will cut that in half. Now, theoretically, once you sew that, and as you can see, you know, if I didn't cut it exactly perfect because I wasn't looking, but it doesn't matter. As long as these are sewn accurately, you're okay. Then you're going to press it. I will use my pressing solution, and I'll press it open. And you should have an accurate 2.5 inch triangle, half square triangle. You'll have 2 of those. I did on one. The other one, it was a little bit off, probably user error because it was the first time I had used it. You probably get better at it when you do it. But you can see right here, you see it? It's a little tiny bit. I know this is super picky, but it's just a little tiny bit off on this corner. And for me, I attribute that to the fact that I can't see through this. So that's the one issue that I do have, but this is nothing that's going to have an issue with your, give you an issue with your half square triangles if you're putting them into a quilt, because they are pretty close to perfect. So I did like the non-skid part of this. That to me is just wonderful, because I don't care what ruler I use, whether it's Quilter Select or the Grippy or any of that stuff. It doesn't matter. They still slip a little bit. I still have that trouble. These don't slip. So if I was comparing these, you know, I'm still probably going to use my block lock because that's what I'm used to and that's what I have. But I think these are fun. I think that they are accurate. I love that, especially if you have an issue with your hand. And that's Martelli's thing, is the ergonomic stuff. They want to make sure that, and I'm not getting anything from Martelli for this. I'm just showing it to you. But what they do is they do not move when they are on. So you don't have to put that extreme pressure like I do. I don't know how about you, but I put so much pressure on my left hand that I got a tendon issue from it, because I'm holding down my ruler so tightly so that I can cut and nothing's going to happen with it. So that's where I didn't have to do that with this. You don't have to push and hold because it's not going to go anywhere. You want to make sure that you have accurate cuts. You want to make sure that you place this accurately, your cutter. But this, once you put it down, it like I say, it stays unless you somehow move this hand when you're cutting out. But if you keep it right along the edge of the template, I thought it came out really well. So I was happy with it. I will definitely use them again, depending on my project. But my favorite was these larger squares, because there are so many times that I want a larger square, and I really loved being able to fussy cut using that frame. And they have them for all the sizes. So check that out. If you're interested in the Martelli products, check that out, martellinotions.com. And they have theirs on Amazon. This is the larger set. This is the one that has all the way up to that 9.5 inch size, which, yeah, a 9 inch, actually, it's a 9 inch finish size. So if you need them that big, you've got those larger ones as well. I was really pleased with the smaller set and the half square triangle set. And this is a new product. So they do have a video that they talk about on their Martelli Notions site. They have a lot of videos explaining their products. So if you take a look at that, watch that, it's helpful and you might be able to see that. So are there any questions? Does anybody have any questions? I'm so happy that you are all here. Oh, Katie's on. Hi, Katie. We're glad to have you here. Katie from Greenland. So had some fun conversation with Katie, and we'll hope to do that again. In fact, I would when we have our lives, when we are sewing together, that's always such a fun time to just be able to chat. And I really enjoy doing that on Katie's site. So if you go back and look, go to her channel. It's a YouTube channel, The Greenland Quilter, not hard to find. She has all sorts of interviews with basically some pretty cool quilting celebrities, Katie, right? I mean, she's talked with Karen Brown, who is the Just Get It Done Quilts. She's got several people, So Becca, who I love. She has so many good ideas, and they just sit and there's an interview, and then there's a sew along with her, and they share some ideas. So if you're interested, go take a look at Katie's page. She has just all kinds of fun stuff going on there, and it's just enjoyable to chat with quilters from around the world, and she enables us to do that. So we thank her for that. I love the fact that we are all able to make this a community, worldwide community quilt guild, and not just in one neck of the woods like we would in a virtual, I mean in an in-person guild. It's just one of the cool things that we do with this particular guild, as well as our YouTube channel, and we're able to share as well. So that's all I have for you today. I hope that this has been fun. I know that there's so many more things to talk about, but I'm telling you, I cannot wait to show this, and I can't wait to show you what's going to happen at our next live, the middle of the month. So we've got July 8th at 10 p.m., Night Owl Quilting, and then we have, and actually I'm going to talk about making a pillow on July 8th. So if you want to know how to make a pillow cover, join me, because we're going to go through that process. And there's also a handout that will go along with that. I don't know if you remember last year, those of you who joined us for the Christmas in July, that's kind of why I'm doing that. It's a little bit of a Christmas in July. We have a free that we'll post a link to, that if you want the free handout with all the Christmas, just some wall hanging, a pot holder, a pillow, patterns, and then I'm going to go through that at our Night Owl Quilting on Monday night. So just a fun thing. You know what? Those holidays come quick, and you can actually use this information not only for Christmas and a Christmas project, but it, you know, the pillow or whatever can be used any day just for decorative. So I want to show that to you and show you how I put that together. Our next daytime quilting, July 17th, Wednesday, it's going to be, again, 11 a.m. Central Time, and that's where we're going to put together that jelly roll friendly quilt block that my friend Pam Pulley suggested to me, and I thank you, Pam. That was just great, and you're going to love it. I mean, I loved it when I saw it, and I'm going to demo that. I put it into a quilt, and we'll have the quilt pattern again available as well, but I'd love to have you just join me as I'll show you the trick to putting that block together, and it really is a trick. So fun times ahead, and I hope you have an absolutely wonderful Independence Day celebration. I am grateful for each one of you for joining me. It's such a fun time, and I really, really, really appreciate what you've done. We have reached 24,000 subscribers, yay, which is phenomenal, and actually heading to that 25. My half square triangles are blown away. Our August 4th actually is our anniversary when it comes to our YouTube. So wouldn't it be fun to have 25,000 subscribers? That would be so cool. I think we can do it. We have plenty of time to do that by August 4th. But if you share click like, click subscribe, and share this information, I would be most grateful. Thank you to those of you who have supported us in this particular meeting. I really, truly appreciate it. And so does Alex, and we thank you for that. And we will see you again. I am always trying to be joyful, everyone. Always. This is so easy when I'm here, but I will always be merry. Thanks so much for joining me, and we will see you again.